I have now, that's the vacuum cleaner connection goes there, and that's my suction adjustment there. We need to make this adjustable so I can suck harder or suck less. So I'll just get a bit of offcut, put that over the hole somewhere, put it in the corner, put a ply hole in, put a screw in, now you want this to be fairly snug because you don't want it to fall down and accidentally suck too hard. So you want to be able to make sure that it's where you put it, it stays. Right, so I put my brood box on top just to check everything out. It's all nice and square, or square enough. This opens and shuts and stays where it stays. Right, now we're up to putting the fly wire on the top. Right, now as with all fly wire, whenever you're pinning it to something, you need to always double it over. So you put that around there so there's enough to cut off one fold worth over, at least one fold. Put a bit of tension on it. And we'll just do this all the way around. Right. You'll notice that when I get to this end, I always cut off at a 45-degree angle, because what happens is if I cut off flat, that'll be 4 times the thickness rather than 2 times the thickness. Now it's only double the thickness, which is double the thickness all the way around. So just make sure you trim the edges. And I'll do this one. Make sure you pull it fairly tight when you're doing this. Get a bit of tension on it and it's fine. Right, now that we have that's all completed, it's got holes in it down the bottom. It doesn't really matter. It's I'll just close the suction hole more if there's not enough suction. What we need to do now is we'll get the brood box. This is what we're going to suck everything into. Now the one thing is, people will sit the brood box on top and they suck all the bees in there, and then they've got all the bees in there, they've got to get them out. Of course, when you take this off, there's nothing there. The bees can just come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of fly wire just quickly over there, so when I lift it off, they don't actually fall out the bottom. Okay, so there's my brood box with some fly wire on the bottom. It's going to go on top of that like that. Now I'm going to make it a little bit fancy simply because I've got some perspex. I'm going to have a perspex top so I can see what's actually happening. So I'm just going to have to draw a line around there so I know where to cut. Since perspex is fairly flexible, I'm also going to have to, I found a bit of quad which I will whack in there and there to stop it from sagging. I might also put a bit of bracing across the middle just to stop it from sagging. Alright, so I've put my quad around the edges there. My glass perspex fits in the top. I've drilled a hole for the vacuum cleaner intake pipe. It doesn't quite fit. It's better to have a hole a bit smaller than a bit too big, because I can always rasp it out to get the right length, the right size, sorry. Whereas I can't, it's very hard to tape up and all that sort of rubbish, so I'd rather rasp it out to the right size than try and make it fit in a sloppy hole. Yeah, I've made it fit. It's very nice, tight, snug fit. It's always better to spend the extra 3 minutes on getting something that fits properly than rather than tape it up and do other sort of crap. Now I've just got to cut some straight lengths out of this soft foamy sort of stuff so I can fit in this edges here so I get a good seal. I might do a bit for the bottom as well, although I don't think that that's going to be too much of a hassle, but I'll do it anyway. So there we are, I've drawn a few straight lines. I should be able to get enough to at least do the top and maybe half the bottom. Let's see if I need any more lengths. I'll just draw some more up and come. Rightio, there's some strips cut. All I'm going to do is put that there, cut that to length there, get the staple gun again, put 1, 2, 3 in each little thing, maybe 2 there, 2 there, 3 there. That's good enough for that. At the bottom bit, I'll do exactly the same for the bottom bit. You'll notice that I've fixed some transport locks to it. So I put that one on. That one on. Pretty solid and rigid. There we go. As we would know, I found the no more gaps, but I couldn't find the caulking gun, could I? So it's down to the duct tape. I've sealed it all the way around where I was going to put no more gaps with the duct tape, and we'll fire it up and we'll see how we go. Well, it works. There's some bees in there. So I'm ready to let them go. Come out now, little bees. Now the way I'm actually going to use this is with it on its side. So what's going to happen is that it's going to be placed like this. Get out. With that like there, the opening there, so that any bees, if they're going to walk around, they will walk around the bottom. They won't walk around on the actual mesh where all the vacuum is coming, all the suction is coming from. So I'm assuming there's a few bees in here, so we'll see how we go.